I think there should be a broader debate as to whether or not our city council versus the people should have the final say on how much the city borrows for the future.
Newly appointed Palm Coast City Council member Charles Gambaro making a motion to nullify a controversial referendum on the upcoming November 5th ballot.
The charter amendment on the upcoming ballot essentially ends voters' input on city borrowing beyond a limit, a right that's been in existence for over 25 years. Councilmember Gambaro agrees with a few other fellow council members. The amendment language is confusing and concerning.
I absolutely see the intent of what the charter amendment is trying to do, but I'm just deeply concerned about it. And I think it's also important that our citizens understand clearly what they're voting for as we continue to look at how to raise revenue to cover down on some of our long-term costs.
City Attorney Marcus Duffy.
This is at the point of no return. As Councilman Gambaro has said, ballots have gone out, okay? So the election process has started. So it would be my advice that this cannot be nullified. In case law research, the only way that this can be changed is by a judicial decree, is where a judge would intervene and the judge would find it not valid.
Duffy explains the serious circumstances.
We want to change our city charter. We need to put it out for a voter referendum. First, we have an ordinance. That ordinance was passed at 2 reads, and then it goes out for a vote by our city residents. This has already begun because now it is in the hands of our electors. And if this city council decides to nullify this vote, then it could be looked as that we are interfering with the election.
The motion failed. Meanwhile, legal discussion on the amendment isn't over since there's a pending lawsuit on the issue. For Flagler's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Friday, October 4th.
I'm ready to go, and I think we could all work together, and that's what I was working for. Like I said, my philosophy is win-win. I'll work with everybody to get things done.
We're hearing from another candidate who attended last week's forum hosted by the Flagler County Tiger Bay Club.
Jeffrey Seib is running for the District 1 seat on the Palm Coast City Council.
At the University of Florida, I worked for 25 years in this research environment. And what it meant was I worked with doctoral, PhD students, postdocs, researchers, and these were people from around the world. I worked with the United Nations of my department. We had students from the United Kingdom, from Russia, from Egypt, from Bangladesh, from India, from China, from Brazil, from Mexico, and we all had to work together.
Seib says the same applies to the city council.
You know, one of the things that I feel very strongly about is the environment and keeping our city green. You know, because a great city integrates nature into the city environment. And this is something that I would be pushing. But I think our council, at least the folks that are here, will go along with that and help support that.
If you missed the Tiger Bay Club's Candidates Forum, you can watch the entire event online at the Flagler Radio YouTube channel. I'm Daryl Moody reporting.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. How to get your wife to talk to you again after 2 months of not talking to you.
Move back to Florida. Dr. Abubakar Ali, now with Advent Health, said he did surgery training in Detroit, a fellowship in Jacksonville, and that's where things kind of went wrong. He turned down an offer in Jacksonville to go back to Detroit.
And my wife stopped talking to me for about 2 months.
Ali said he stayed in Detroit for about 8 months and then he took a job with Advent Health to help build the cancer program. He said he's a surgeon specialized in minimally invasive robotics.
You're able to make similar to traditional open surgery with small cuts, meaning early recovery. Patient go home early, less pain, less chances of infection, less chances of hernia.
Dr. Abubakar Ali said he sits at the console and moves the robotic arms with his fingers. He said that he's one of 7 children. All of his siblings are physicians, and their father is a physician. Lifeline is on WNZF on Saturday mornings at 9 and on the Flagler radio app. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Time for another weekend of family fun. This is Stacy with Fun for Augie Kids.
The Jacksonville Business Connections is presenting their annual Halloween bash, so get ready for a haunting good time. Whether you are a trick-or-treater, a costume enthusiast, or just someone who loves all things fun, this event has something for everyone. Marineland Dolphin Adventure hosts their Monster Mash 2, Trouble Behind the Mask event. There will be spooky shows, a haunted house, scary tours, photo opportunities, and your favorite Marineland animals. This event is ideal for ages 10 and up, and costumes are welcomed. The Link is offering a Happy Haunts Kids Night Out event. Come dressed in your favorite pajamas and blanket for movie time. There will also be pizza and drinks, along with a mix of activities, including themed arts and crafts, Lego games, and more. For more on these events and others, please visit us on our website at fun4augiekids.com. Have a great weekend.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
Football County hits the road tonight for Week 7 of the high school football season. Matanzas travels to Mount Dora in the WNZF Sports Network Game of the Week. The 3-3 Pirates look to bounce back from a district opening loss. Coach Matt Forrest says his team continues to improve.
I'm looking out at our starters and how many of our guys were JV players pretty much all season last year. Now we're asking them to start for varsity and make plays at a varsity level. And I just see growth every single week out of our guys.
Last week's loss to state champ Mainland shows the team needs to keep climbing.
When you're talking about a team aspect and a scoreboard, it's not showing up in the game because we're just a tick off here or there somewhere, right? It's just minor details, minor assignments where you get exposed when you're playing teams that are well coached and tough opponents.
Join Rich and I live at 6:45 here on the radio. Watch on the Flagler Radio YouTube channel, the WNZF Facebook page, and the WNZF Sports Twitter page. FPC is currently 5th in the Region 1 playoff standings and will try to rebound from their first loss of the year with a win against the Fletcher Senators in Neptune Beach. FPC volleyball crossed Pellissier Creek last night to meet Pedro Menendez. After a controversial call tied the match at 1, FPC won the last 2 sets by 19 points for the 3-1 win. Junior Marina Carlisi on closing out games.
We just have that drive and that motivation to win. Like, Coach really pushes us to do that. So I think it gives us like a sense of like accomplishment when we get it done.
Sophomore Grace Taylor on how she and her teammates fight through adversity.
I can never stop fighting for this team because they will never stop fighting for me. This coach, she won't stop fighting. I couldn't do any of this without her, and she couldn't do this without us.
The Bulldogs host Mainland Tuesday. WNZF is your home for local sports with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.